Hi everyone, hope it is good going. Welcome to video 10. In this video, you will understand classical management thoughts or schools. In the previous video, we discussed 5 different types of thoughts. First one, classical management thought. Second, behavioral management thought. Third, quantitative management thought. Fourth, systems management thought. And fifth one, contingency management thought. All these 5 were shown in the last slide of the previous video. So you will understand in this presentation the classical management thoughts. The classical management thoughts, it is something related to the group of thinkers who actually looked at workplace in a similar fashion, and they all proposed a theory out of their practices in their respective industries and then developed management theory. In this backdrop, you will learn the beliefs of management of classical management thinkers' perspective, what they believe about management. If you see the classical management the perspective, there are two major schools of classical management approaches. So within this classical management, you will find there are two major the thoughts. One thought is called scientific management. The second one is administrative management. So scientific management is concerned with the improvement of the performance of individual workers, that is efficiency. So we will discuss details about the scientific management. So the second, the thought under the classical management perspective is administrative management. It is something related to a theory that the focus on managing the total organizations, how to manage the total organization, so how the management actually contributes for the organizational operations. So these are the two major the thoughts under this classical management perspective. So if you look at the scientific management is proposed by these ideas and thoughts proposed and formulated by Frederick the Taylor in between 1856 to 1915. So this the Frederick William Taylor, right, he was actually considered as a father of scientific management. So basically he's a mechanical engineer who sought to improve industrial efficiency out of his ideas. He is regarded as the father of scientific management and was one of the first management consultant and first management advisor for various organizations in the Western society. So this man is actually replaced the rule of thumb or intuitive methods with scientific the base and scientific way of working. So before scientific management of this the Frederick Taylor, so there was a kind of traditionally believed and thumb rule the based organizational activities, and they believed that a work is done in a particular way and without any alternative, the best ways to do the same work better than the earlier. So this Taylor, they challenged that and then questioned why this work cannot be done in a different way to improve the efficiency. So in that the aspect, he just believed that in selecting, training and the teaching and developing the workers, so he has his own ideas, and then so all these ideas are kept in the scientific management 4 principles. So the 4 principles of scientific management proposed by Frederick Taylor are very famous and then popular across the world, and many companies implemented this the proposed scientific management out of his the practice. So as far as the scientific management 4 principles are concerned, the first principle is all about developing science for each element of the job to replace the old the rules of the activities. So it is something related to developing a new method, the mechanism to replace all kinds of thumb rules and then old pattern. So he just came out with some kind of dividing the work and then working in a such a way that so he just came out with analysis of each and every job. So then after analyzing each and every job, scientifically the second step is select the employees based on their knowledge and then ability and then competencies. First of all, the first step of the scientific management is analyze the job and interpret the job and see that what are the main elements of the job, and then who is required to perform that job. So that he just explained the second step, scientifically selecting the employees. And then the third step of the four principles are so the explaining what is this job, how the job is must be done. So in a scientific way to increase the efficiency of each and every worker at workplace. So that he explained in the third step. The last step is actually joining the scientifically designed job with the scientifically selected the worker. So this way he just explained the four steps in the scientific management, and this scientific management four principles are very famous across the globe. So when you look at the other scientific management pioneers, so the Frank 1868 to 1964, he also proposed about the management, and then Lillian Gilbert 1878 to 1972, and he also just talked about the time related time motions, the studies, the breaking the movement into the that blinks. So that is what is actually proposed. It is all about the time study and method study and motion study. So in his studies, he just felt that for each job, how much time is required. So what is the speed that is required to perform the job? So that these two people, the Frank and then Lillian Gilbert, the both explained so in their thoughts. Then the Henry Gantt was an early the associate of the Frederick Taylor, and he developed other techniques like including the Gantt chart to improve the working efficiency through the planning the schedule. So he just developed a kind of chart. The chart indicates that at what time and then how many people and then what is the quantum of work and how the work must be done. So all these things he just explained in his the ideas and then in his writings. So that is Henry Gantt's contributions. The third one is Harrington Emerson. So he also just advocated the job specializations into both managerial and then operational jobs. So he just categorized all the employees into two, and then he said that there are the people who are actually looking after the oversee the jobs of others are called as managerial, and the rest of the people are called as operational jobs. So these are the thoughts initially. In those days, they just came out and then implemented in their respective organizations. Then when come to the administrative, the management theory. So in this theory, the Henry Foyle, and he is also very popular, and then this man also called as the father of the management, the father of general management. And then this man proposed several activities like he wrote general and then industrial the management book, and out of his work experience in industry, he proposed the many things. So he helped to systematize the practice of the management, and then he looked at the organization as a whole, and then he he just came out with the completely planning, organizing, directing and controlling and coordinating and maintenance. These are the first this man introduced all these in his organization where he was working as an engineer. So out of his experience and more major contribution for management field is the 14 principles of management. The 14 principles are very famous, and then you will understand all these 14 principles in a very systematic way, right? And then you will see that these 14 principles, so then the division of work and then other authority, discipline, unity of command and unity of the direction, and then subordination of individual interest with the organizational interest. And this way you will see that there are so many things, and then centralization, and then the scholar chain, and then orders, equity, the stability of the tenure of the personnel, and then initiativeness. So these scholars, there are many the principles that are there in the organizations. All these are explained and then advocated in his organization as a the manager of his company. So these are his contributions. So then if you look at the classical management the proponents, so there are many other people who actually looked at many things, and then these are the people who actually looked at the organization in a different way, and then contributed many things about the decision making, about authority, how authority is supposed to be, the subordinates, and their activities and how they're supposed to work for the organization. Especially if you see the Max Weber's bureaucratic model. First time bureaucracy word was used by Max Weber, and then he proposed a set of the rules, and then the people must be working in the organizations in personal order and written documents. Everything he just explained in his theory, and then you just understand all these when you just look at his theoretical perspective for the management. So when you look at the classical management perspective today, and what is his contribution, what are his limitations? So especially contribution is laid the foundation for lateral theoretical development. So they are the foundation, and they just started developing literature in management, and they just came out with some of the processes and then functions and then skills that are required for managers to perform the job in the organizations. And this series also focused on attention on management as a valid subject of scientific inquiry. So scientifically, each and every the task and then roles are analyzed, interpreted, and then so they believed that the efficiency of each and every job performance will be increased when we just scientifically do the job at workplace. These are the contributions of these people. And when you look at the limitations of this the thought, so more appropriate approach for use in the traditional, the stable and then simple organizations is very difficult. It is not possible for small and then traditional the companies where conventionally operated, and then it is prescribes the universal the procedure that are not appreciated in some of the settings and some of the organizations. So they said that it is universally applicable, but some extent it is accepted, but there are little apprehensions about the application and the result of the scientific management in some of the organizations. And at the same time, if you see the employees the viewed as a tool for rather than a resource. It is a kind of tool or instrument with that they try to work out in the organizations, and then there are certain limitations as far as this the theory is concerned, and based on the limitations you will find the development of behavioral thoughts and the behavioral school, and that we will discuss in the next video, right? And with this let me thank you, and we look forward to meet you in the video 11. Thank you very much.